Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to invite Sophia Prandini, Secretary of the Class of 2017, to join me on stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I would also like to invite Alexandria Cross and Abby Hensley, Treasurer of the Class of 2017, to join us to sing the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous stars o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, members of the MAU School Board, Superintendent Culkeen, faculty, families, and friends of the Class of 2017. Welcome, Class of 2017. On this field tonight are some pretty remarkable people. They are all scholars. Many are artists, actors, singers, and musicians. Many are athletes. Some of our athletes are heading to championship games next week. They are writers and scientists, historians, future pharmacists, accountants, and mathematicians. We hope they are all readers. We know they are coders and beekeepers and graphic designers. Some fix cars, and they are outstanding mechanics. We have carpenters and cosmetologists, future business managers, and chefs. Members of the Class of 2017 are planning to dedicate their lives to teaching, law enforcement, protecting our forests, sustainable agriculture, and the military. Some will be forensic scientists, filmmakers, and veterinarians. More than a few are headed toward medical professions and human services. They speak Spanish, Latin, and French. They have contemplated bioethics, studied psychology, and learned to dance. They have tackled the high ropes course and discovered what it means to be scared and go higher. They are leaders, They stand here today to celebrate their accomplishments and offer their skills to us and our community. They have also grown up and grown wiser in high school. They have learned from experience, mistakes, and successes. In our yearbook, seniors are asked to provide advice for future classes. I would like to share their words with you because their advice is relevant to all of us. Don't procrastinate. Don't give up. Lift yourself up and try again. Get involved. Enjoy friends, make memories. No time flies. Take any opportunity that's given to you because it goes by fast. Don't waste time worrying about past mistakes. Learn from them and move on. Don't trust people who don't believe in horoscopes. When you think you've given your best, push a little harder. Stay true to who you are. Chuck your cell phone. Don't let yourself stagnate. Always try to improve your intellectual and physical being because otherwise you'll fall behind. Focus on what's important to you and you can do anything. Class of 2017, you did focus on what's important to you, and you can and will do anything. Tonight, we honor your accomplishments of meeting graduation requirements. As the name of each graduate is called tonight, I call on us to listen and remember the name. I have no doubt we will hear their names again because I know every member of the class of 2017 will bring honor to our community. At the present time, I would like to honor and recognize MAU students who are graduating with honors. Would all of you stand? Every student standing has distinguished themselves academically. I would like to introduce Mr. Bruce Lee Clark, who is our pre-law and forensic investigation faculty at the Southwest Vermont Career Development Center.
The National Technical Honor Society currently serves approximately 100,000 students across the country, 24 of them actively here at the Southwest Vermont Career Development Center. The National Technical Honor Society distributes about $250,000 in scholarships every year to honor those whose achievements are at the top of career and technical education. They encourage the pursuit of higher education and cultivate excellence in today's highly competitive and skilled workforce. The National Technical Honor Society strives to bring well-deserved recognition and opportunities and to students who excel in one of the 108 career and technical education fields as their profession. Not only do these students embody all of the attributes and talents which is in demand today, these students also embrace a clear vision for tomorrow's workforce and their role in it. National Technical Honor students understand changes in industry within local communities and on a global scale. Would the members of the Southwest Vermont Career Development Center National Technical Honor Society please rise at this time and be recognized?
I would now like to introduce the president of the class of 2017, Andre Wright.
First off, I'd like to thank the MAU School Board, administration, faculty, my friends, and my family for the privilege of speaking to you today. As class president, it is my job to use the ample time given to me over the course of our senior year to craft a memorable and meaningful speech, to reach deep into your hearts and change your lives with my words. Now, if any of you know me, this was not the case. And yesterday, as the overwhelming wave of responsibility struck me, I crafted this speech. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know what you want to hear. I was elected to endow you with the wisdom and knowledge that will guide you toward a successful future. I would like to ask who thought a fresh out of school high school grad would have these kind of answers. I haven't even gotten my diploma yet. If you were expecting a boring lecture and corny jokes, you should have taken a class with Mr. Gordon. We are the last class of the 90s, the echo of an era defined by AOL, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, All That, Bill Nye, and Skip-Its, and so much more. When you turn on Nickelodeon and Painty the Pirate would ask, "Are you ready, kids?" I can't hear you. Oh, all right. When if you wanted to Netflix and chill, you'd have to wait for that DVD to come in the mail. So far, we've been in 2 millenniums, 2 centuries, and 3 decades. We've seen the first African-American president. We've gone from 9 planets to 8. Witnessed catastrophic events, justice served, survived incredible flus and viruses, Y2K, the 2012 Mayan apocalypse, and last but not least, the life-scarring middle school lockdown. Today I look upon you, and I can see a bright and fruitful future, a group of graduates with fortitude, resilience, and the courage to accomplish anything we set out to. We are at the pinnacle of the world and society's evolution. We are in an age where science and technology are making exponential advancements beyond comprehension, and we are going to be a part of it. But nobody knows what the future holds for sure, because it's our job to innovate it, no matter what career path you should pursue. Now, I know what you're asking yourself. What will happen to all those books I never read in the library? What will I do with those precious 15 minutes between 10:50 and 11:05 a.m. to replace seminar? Has the age of the streaker truly dissipated? Worry not, my classmates, the answers will come in due time. Today, class, I ask you not to look to your future just yet, but to reminisce with me to humble beginnings, to the places where you met the people who shaped your path today, from elementary all the way to high school, the places and events that serve as landmarks in your memory. During our last few days in school, I got to tell some of you how I had first met you. Some of you were surprised I'd remembered it all. I remember because you may not have thought it was significant on that day, but I knew everyone I met would affect my life in some way, some more than others, whether it was right then and there or at a time later to come. You all play a part in someone's life, whether you know it or not. Something as simple as offering friendship without even exchanging names yet, or letting that kid sit next to you on that first day. It's acts like these that I am thankful for, which allow me to be here speaking with you today. So now I urge you, ask yourself whose lives you may have changed, whose lives you are part of today. And while you move forward towards your future, never forget where you come from. Relish the great memories you have, and be sure to make many more. Live in the now, but don't be afraid to look back once in a while on this journey through life. And if you don't remember my words, remember those of the highly renowned Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Andre. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first faculty speaker, Miss Judy Estes.
Once upon a time, 2004 to be exact, and not so far away, a group of very spirited 5-year-olds started kindergarten. They met new friends, proudly described their Polly Pockets and Legos at show and tell, and gradually learned the ins and outs of this thing called school. There was taking turns at the slide on the playground, trading fruit snacks for chips at lunch, being the line leader, and riding up the elevator with your classmates at the Bennington Battle Monument for that yearly field trip. From the top, they could see the whole kingdom of Bennington and the faraway lands of New York and Massachusetts. School got harder. These students progressed to learn to read, spell, count, calculate. There was the I before E, except after C rule in spelling, carrying and addition, borrowing and subtraction. They now had to pump to move the swing, find someone the same size to teeter on the totter, and field trips were now bus trips to museums in those faraway lands. The elementary years were very exciting with spelling bees, science fairs, concerts, plays, Grandparents' Day, and they will never forget the specials: art, music, phys ed, library, computer, those marvelous things that allowed for creativity and life enhancement. By 2010 and 2011, the group grew older and wiser. It was time to move to middle school. Perhaps that meant becoming a part of the Taconic or Walloomsac house, or maybe it meant wearing a sophisticated kilt and vest instead of a jumper. Same plaid, though. They became independent and moved from class to class at designated times. Then came the introduction of school dances, where some sat on one side of the gym and some sat on the other. Sports teams now represented the school, and there were away games, and the work got harder still. Variables and math problems, research papers, foreign languages, and other hardships, all in the guise of preparation for high school. In the fall of 2013, these students entered Mount Anthony Union High School as freshmen. Their elders told them that the time would fly by. Little did they know what was in store for them in the kingdom of MAU. The Wizard of Oz, The Addams Family, Oliver, Charlie Brown, Putnam Annual Spelling Bee, and many other shows were brought to life by talented actors and actresses. Singers and musicians wowed audiences in concerts like the Beatles, Hairspray, and winter and spring performances. Athletes won back-to-back championships in softball and a championship in girls lacrosse for a chance for one more state title in each. The girls' tennis team had 2 perfect regular seasons, and the wrestlers continued the tradition to earn 29 state championships in a row. Countless others were champions in different ways, earning personal bests, trying their bests, and leaving it all on the field or the court or the track or the dance floor. Pharrell Williams would have been proud of the lip dub they produced, including everyone in the school. As sophomores, they out-screamed the upperclassmen at the annual fall pep rally to be named the winners. And the work still got harder. They read books like Gilgamesh, Of Mice and Men, and Gatsby. They had to script and perform their own plays. Grueling math tests and contests were conquered. They made nature journals, body projects, and became one with their Chromebooks and their iPads. They were delegates for the Model UN. They visited New York City maybe more than once. Nimble fingers enjoyed Finger Fun Time and Typing Timing Wednesday. Their seam rippers became their best friend. Thousands of dollars in scholarships were earned and awards were accepted humbly for their academic achievement. And probably the most amazing of all, they took the S-backs in math and English and the kneecaps in science, all without a day off. The clubs they initiated and joined hosted blood drives, taught them strategy in chess and other games, looked after the wellness of others, served the community with numerous volunteer hours, tutored their peers and others, raised money for numerous causes, took pictures for the yearbook, made candles out of beeswax, and reduced, reused, and recycled. The members of DECA, FBLA, Culinary, and Skills USA traveled to competitions via the friendly skies, even to those faraway lands, to win contests and represent their programs well. Dances, proms, and balls were the highlights of the year for many, with the opportunity to adorn fancy attire and showcase appropriate dance moves. Difficult decisions often had to be made throughout these 4 years, as members of this class were dedicated and committed to supporting friends, family, and their classmates in times of need and tough circumstances. This caring was apparent in the simplest gestures and spoken words. June 9th, 2017 is their graduation day. That is today. They are sitting near their friends, many from that first day of kindergarten back in 2004. The emotions range from elation to exhaustion, to pride, to excitement, and to something that is bittersweet and perhaps never felt before. This class not only made it to this day, but rose to this day. Their spirit is needed now more than ever, and the world is counting on them. The moon is full tonight, symbolically lighting the path to the wonderful times, new experiences, and faraway lands that await this very special class of 2017. May they live happily ever after. I feel extremely honored to have been invited to speak to you tonight on behalf of the wonderful faculty and staff we are blessed with here at MAU. I would like to make a special thank you tonight to those retiring this school year, Mr. Lucy, Mrs. Garino, Mrs. Pencil, and Mrs. Kovich. I know I speak for all of us when I say we are proud of you, we love you, and MAU is better because of you. I believe we have learned as much from you as you have learned from us, and maybe even more. Be kind, be successful, be happy, and may you always have a reason to smile. So speaking of smiling, this is quite the photo opportunity that we have right here. So I would like you to all stand up. You know the routine. Ready? What's your name? I'd like to know. Shout it out and let your spirit show. We are the... Oh, come on. Who? Congratulations, class of 2017.
It is my pleasure to introduce our second faculty speaker, Miss Amy Thaverge.
Wow, and you all know how well I do with mic stands, right? Students of the class of 2017, parents and friends, faculty and staff, school board members, Superintendent Culkeen, Principal Cresto, I stand before you humbled by the idea that you think I have ideas worth listening to. I hope you're right. One vote, one voice can make a difference. Whether it is local, state, national, your vote and your voice matter. A 1982 State House election in Maine, in which the victor won 1,387 votes to the losers 1,386. A 1970 State House race in Rhode Island, in which the victor won 1,760 votes to the losers 1,759. Does my vote really count? Yes. Because your vote adds to others and becomes much more than one vote. Voting is using your voice in the best possible way. Your one voice can matter by speaking up when no one else will. Consider the cost of not speaking up. In pre-World War II Germany, Martin Niemöller was a Lutheran pastor who supported Hitler's rise to power. He, however, later changed his view when Hitler began persecuting Christians of Jewish ancestry. He wrote the following lines. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Niemöller realized his voice had the power to effect a change, but because he chose not to speak up and waited for someone else to speak up, all was lost, and those losses were enormous. Your voice can have the power to change the world. There are other examples. Rosa Parks, who after one exhausting day refused to stand up, and by sitting down, brought the nation's focus to a burgeoning civil rights movement. Jackie Robinson, the first African American signed to a Major League Baseball team, who was willing to cross the color line to play the game he loved. Young Malala Yousafzai spoke out for the education of girls in her home in the Swat Valley of Pakistan against a government which does not respect either women or education. I do not say it is easy to speak up. When one voice speaks against an authority or a general opinion, there are often repercussions. Rosa Parks was arrested for her refusal to move. Jackie Robinson was jeered from the stands, not for a bad play, but because the color of his skin, and his family received death threats. Malala was shot in the face by the Taliban. However, one voice, their voices, speaking up led others to follow. Rosa Parks' courage led to the bus boycott in Birmingham, and the NAACP won the right for all citizens to sit in any seat on any bus. Jackie Robinson was joined by Larry Doby and Hank Thompson, and now 35% of Major League Baseball players are minorities, without the jeering from the stands. Malala didn't die, but fled her country, and despite all this, continues to speak for education of girls not only in her country, but all over the world. One voice began, others joined in, and the world changed. Remember the time when a classmate questioned a teacher about the correctness of a test answer, and the teacher changed it. Think of a player who pointed out to the disappointed teammates bad-mouthing another player that the loss wasn't just his fault. Any team wins or loses together. Recall the time when a fellow student spoke up to obnoxious ones teasing a new kid on the bus, and they stopped. Unfortunately, I believe you are moving forward into some scary times, times when you will have to be the voice of reason. I challenge you today to use your voice. I ask you to believe that using your voice to speak up for what is right and true is worth it. I ask you to believe that just
one voice singing in the darkness. All it takes is one voice singing so they hear what's on your mind. And when you look around, you'll find there's more than one voice singing in the darkness. Joining with that one voice, each and every note another octave, hands are joined and fears unlocked. If only one voice would start it on its own, we need just one voice facing the unknown, and then that one voice would never be alone. It takes that one.
Thank you, class of 2017.
It is my honor to introduce the class of 2017 Salutatorian, Miss Erica McCarthy.
Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Erica McCarthy, and I will not be singing tonight. Sorry to disappoint you. I would like to welcome families, friends, faculty, administration, the MAU School Board, and most importantly, the class of 2017. It's been a long 4 years, but we finally made it, so congratulations everyone. The point of these speeches, aside from making you wait longer for your diploma, is traditionally to motivate you for the future, encourage you to be responsible, and inspire you. Basically, I'm supposed to talk you out of senioritis, which is a bit ironic and only a little hypocritical. That being said, I'd like to take a slightly different approach, so prepare to be inspired. First, I would like you all to take a second and think about the people who helped you reach this point in your life. They can be family members, friends, teachers, anyone who helped you become who you are today. Hopefully, there are more than you can call to mind in this moment. I want you to think about how they helped you, what kind of values or morals they held. Now keep that in mind for the rest of this speech, because it's very important. As much as many of us probably want to get out of here, move on, or perhaps redefine ourselves, we have to realize that the people here today, in the class and in the audience,
have played a huge role in shaping us, and we can never erase that. They've created the atmosphere in which we've lived for the past 4 years, and in some cases, our entire lives. No matter where we go after today, we can't forget that all of the people we have encountered here have had an effect on us, whether it be infinitesimally small or life-changing. And it goes both ways. Every one of us, our actions, our character, and our demeanor have helped shape the people around us, for better or for worse. As we all go out into the world, it is important to realize that we will be affecting a lot more people. So now is the perfect time to think about how we want to contribute to the lives of others, because everything we do and everything we are has a ripple effect. Essentially, this is a question of personal philosophy. What do you value in life? Personal success and enjoyment, the well-being and happiness of others, or some combination of the two? It's not a simple question, and there is no right answer, but I would like you all to think about it. I mean, really think about it. Not just now, but for the rest of your lives. I challenge you all to build your own personal philosophies around this question, and don't be afraid to change them or to be unsure. I'm not saying you have to find the meaning of life or have an existential crisis, but don't be afraid to think philosophically, because it can help you determine what you value and how you will act in relation to others. I am in no way qualified to tell you all how to live your lives, but I can present some of my observations that I think are relevant to our topic of discussion. For one thing, nobody wants to be unhappy, and everyone here, I assume, wants to be successful in one way or another, which requires us to be self-serving to some degree. On the other hand, humans, as a species, have a unique and, in my opinion, beautiful capacity for empathy and compassion. There is no evolutionary advantage to altruism, and in some cases, it is even a disadvantage. Yet many of us still display acts of kindness simply because we can. That being said, the way we treat others and project ourselves in this world is our choice, but it is my hope that you will all consider a life that is intrinsically altruistic, meanwhile keeping in mind that every day is an opportunity to live. I hope that as you encounter more and more people, you will consider what type of atmosphere you are creating for them, and therefore, how you are shaping them, because inevitably, this will reflect back on you. We do not always see the effect we have had on others, but maybe one day, there will be a high school senior at their graduation, just like this, and when they think back on who helped them reach that point, maybe they'll think of you. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone.
impossible dream to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go.
To right the unrighteous covered with smoke, still strong with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable snow.
It is my honor to introduce the class of 2017 valedictorian, Miss Thea Pappas.
Hello, my name is Thea. On graduation day, we celebrate the end of a pivotal period in all of our lives. Not just the lives of the students, but the family, the friends, and even the faculty, administration, and MAU school board, as another generation of kids grows up. On this day of conclusions, it seems ironic that I'm doing something for the very first time. Delivering a speech to hundreds of faces with twice as many eyes looking right at me. And I've recently found that the whole process of writing a speech and delivering a speech is a lot like high school itself. When you are informed that you must give a speech, as when you are informed that you must go to high school, there's a moment of hesitation and apprehension. You can't help thinking, do I really have to do this? What if I mess up? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. In both cases, there's a sense of grieving even, or at least you expect there will be. As a middle schooler, you think about high school, and perhaps you kiss goodbye to your freedom, your youth, your sanity. It's a lot like how the mere thought of public speaking makes you mourn your dignity. High school and speeches, two experiences commonly dreaded without further thought on the subject. I'm guilty of prematurely loathing both. But it's no secret that life is filled with necessary hardships. So when one of them arises, it's best to just cut the foreboding short, dive right in, do your best, and see what happens. Fortunately, life is also filled with many surprises. I never thought I'd read a speech for high school graduation about speeches, in which I discussed the fact that this is a speech about speeches. But now, that's the case, and I'm supposed to relate it to high school as I promised. In high school, in general, people are always surprised by the events that occur that they never imagined would happen in their lives. You never thought you'd make that friend, enjoy that class, join that club, apply for that college or that job. Never thought that after 4 years and countless essays, tests, notes, and read or unread books, you'd seem like an entirely different person. A better person, in fact. And you never would have become that person if you hadn't expanded your idea of who you are, if you hadn't pushed yourself to try new things, as hard as they might have been. High school is a trial. It is full of challenges that are, paradoxically, in preparation for the real world, but also unlike anything you'll ever face again. So even though virtually every student has asked him or herself at least once what the point of their schoolwork was, we as students frequently ask the wrong questions, because sometimes it really isn't the assignment itself that's important. It's the process of handling the issue and learning something from it. I can relate to anyone out there who has any complaints about having to memorize a unit circle. When will that particular skill ever come in handy? It probably won't. And in all honesty, many things you learn in high school you may never use again. But didn't you still have to manage your time and push yourself to accomplish something that didn't come easily? Likewise, when I started to write this speech and I started to actually think about addressing all of these people, I couldn't help but find the whole process trivial at times. That's only because I don't have a future in public speaking and because I was afraid of messing up. But even if you're hesitant to give a speech or do anything else that may be scary to you personally, it's still beneficial to step outside of your comfort zone every once in a while and view the reality that others face. Really, there are many times in life where you ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes it's hard to see the point. But when you look beyond the assignment itself and view it in terms of the challenge it presents to you, it's so much easier to find a purpose. In fact, you can find a purpose in almost anything so long as it challenges you. There's a Zen saying that the obstacle is the path. I think obstacle is a pretty sufficient word to sum up high school, but I wouldn't give it a negative connotation. As I said, many of the events that occur in high school will most likely never happen again. But somehow, everything you do still proves to be extremely useful. Maybe it's as simple as you and your peers have to repeatedly rise to the occasion, whether that occasion is a group project, friend drama, or navigating prom season. Those challenges, those memories you'll look back on, are what make high school so important after all. As Jerry Seinfeld once said, you have to motivate yourself with challenges. That's how you know you're still alive. Don't ever doubt that you can rise to the occasion, because the fact that you're sitting here today proves otherwise. You're all capable of handling challenges, indeed of embracing them, and stepping up wholeheartedly to face them. The only way to succeed is to do something you never thought you could do, to challenge yourself, maybe even surprise yourself. And once you finally conquered a challenge, as we have now conquered high school, you move on to another one. Except this time, it's a little easier to get started, because you've already experienced firsthand what good can come of something demanding. I wish the best of luck to everyone in their future challenges, whatever they may be.
Thank you, Thea. The Mount Anthony Union High School Patriot Award is presented each year at graduation to the senior who best exemplifies the following qualities: school spirit, involvement, character, scholarship, and grit. This year's recipient is described by everyone: her teachers, advisor, guidance counselor, and coaches, as an individual with incredible drive. She works hard. Her advisor told me there is no quitting for her. She defines the word perseverance. Her cross-country coach told me she has the ability to do what is hard. She stays with it. She doesn't get discouraged. Our coaches and athletic director recognize her as someone who is dedicated to building community, and after practices, she would spend many hours helping out and cheering on other athletes. The recipient of this year's Patriot Award is a 4-time Tri-Honor athlete. She is in the band and chorus. She is active in theater productions. As a ninth grader, she told her guidance counselor she had a dream of becoming a doctor. Her guidance counselor still remembers one thing she said: "I will do whatever I need to do to make this a realistic possibility." And she did exactly that. She doubled up on math. She took chemistry. She achieved academically in every class. She is definitely a student who exemplifies spirit, community, character, scholarship, and above all, grit. This year's Patriot Award is presented to Faith Sullivan. Okay, class of 2017, it is time. I would like to call to the stage to receive their diplomas the class of 2017 President Andre Wright and Vice President James Marsden.
Mackenzie, well, it's windy. You got this one? Tyler Stowe. Abigail Crozier. This mic is killing me. Nicholas Anderson. Sophia Caroline Brandini. Dylan Ross. Ashton Schaefer. John LaCroix. Austin Prendergast. Dylan Marceau. Corey Borden. Faith Sullivan. Isabel Mazzola. Gary LaPlante Jr. Carson Lucier. Keegan O'Brien. Josiah Gully. John Babson. Christopher Pendlebury. Melody Rose Bentley. Jamarian Benjamin Winslow. Ian Doucette. Lauren Grimsley. Sebastian Cornelius Roker. Jacob A. Rantilla. Lucas Longton. Sadie Teal. Veronica Bazan. David Malinowski. Katie Saunders. Jason Bump. Jordan Anthony Peters. Zachary James. Ashley Lucas. You graduated, Paul? Ryan Mayhew. Maya Prouty. Taylor Hayes. Alexandria Cross. I'll tell you later. Madeline Minshew. Lindsay Finney. Summer Ray Lampron. Witten Coyne. Natalie Goodell. Eunice Subaru. Brittany Griffiths. Michaelin Angel. Brianna Durkee. Elizabeth Amadon. Tori Alexander. Abby Hensley. Thea Pappas. Willow Starkey Croyder. Sarah Wood. Noah Cheney. Denham Ryder Hayner. Summer Sweet. Matthew Kozlowski. Abigail Bull. Herbert Charles Trey Lang III. I did not make that up. Sarah Fitzgerald. Tiffany Bacon. Stephanie Corey. Emily Pescucci. Emmeline Remington. Alexandra Corinne White. Abigail Whitman. Monroe Trinity Ports. Jackson Thibodeau. Jason Shelley Schilberg. Clayton Schroeder. Sophie Bailina. Francis Robovsky. Connor Sawyer. Brenna Elizabeth Harris. Erica McCarthy. Lindsay Restino. Kalina Korzak. Emmeline Gabriel. Emily Moxley. Brianna Legacy. Madeline Carpenter. Cassidy Loomis. Carly Plaisance. Cap down. Mackenzie Quackenbush. Thanks, man. You too. Benjamin Paul Doucette. Colby Crawford. Aaron Hewlett. Ty Galley. Tristan Matursky. Jordan Burke. Brooke Young. Madison Little. Ryan Dimer O'Neill. Brian Grace. Liam Center. Nilu Churcharillo. Bailey Myers. John Marshall J. Sinkar. Tyler Jones. Riley Mintrone. Ali Boudreau. Brianna Zipridge. Rike Patel. Joshua Trevon Kamali. Haley Richmond. Emily Altland. Matthew Anderson. Ezra Royce. Drew Peltier. Joshua Plowinski. Gavin McIntyre. Sean Lloyd. Megan Held. Skylar Odell. Sierra Jones. Stephen Gannier. Emma Myers. Marley Green. The master. Barton F. Kelly III. Austin Crowley.
17 rules!
Bailey Harwood. Devin Big DeFrancis. Dylan Wilkinson. Kenneth Allen Shade. Jessica Beaumont. Cassie Tift. Ariana Taylor. Faith Wilkins. Taylor Bishop. Aaron Williams. Jesse Hartman. Sabrina Lacrosse. Cassie Vosberg. Shelby Hannon. Eric North. Joshua Harvey. Brandon Buschetti. Richard Borden. Hannah Darling. Shania Martin. Megan Bourne. Lauren Bredbenner. Brittany Pecor. Zeb Leray. Wesley Dow. Aubriana Rose Pettit. Cameron LaFountain. Jeremy Bouteau. Jordan Mayer. Brendan Owen. Reese Moyer. Anna Amadon. Anthony Aaron. Celine Blair. Diploma's down. Diploma's down. Sky Ward. Wayne Shoestock. Kaylee Rougeau. Taylor Cameron. Connor N. Harrington. Ross Armstrong. Paige Wares. Jada Gillerin. Danica Williams. Dominique Burnell. Sheena Farkas. Brandy LaFountain. Vitaly D. Thomas L. Beatty. Devin Allen. Aaron Maza. Keegan Gardner. Dustin Janecki. Tylee Thompson. Ariana Park. John Butler. Joshua Carhan. T-Rip Tyler Ripley. Matthew Hogue. Noah Hayner. Lias Levin. Jamie Mathers. Madison LaFaro. Will Peacock. Alexandra Galusha. Cheyenne Mayer. My name is Andre.
My name is James.
Congratulations, class of 2017.
We have one small task left to do before we can move you forward on to what I hope is a long, happy, successful, content lives. Graduates of the class of 2017, please rise. By the power vested in me by the state of Vermont, I now declare you 2017 graduates of Mount Anthony Union High School. You may move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations.
stand in my man, I stand in my man, and I need a pair of cymbals.